Welcome back to From Nine to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood.
And today we have a very special guest, Katie Holter, who is a mom of 3, and she is the founder of August and Ivy, which Brandon just spoke to Danielle and I, which is why we reached out to you in the first place. But August and Ivy was founded, really born out of a moment in early motherhood for Katie that sent her looking for solutions that just didn't exist. So rather than settling for what was on the market, Katie designed her own, starting the Ivy Go, which is a diaper bag that's built with real support for real life kids. And what began as a personal project has really grown into an entire brand. And we can't wait to dive into more. But thank you, Katie, for being on today.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I am so excited, like just being here. I'm fangirling. I love this podcast. I love listening to you guys. So I'm so honored and excited to come chat.
We can't believe that you're a fan. I think Danielle and I keep being like, people actually listen.
Yes, what?
I know.
It still hasn't fully
clicked in for us. So thank you for feeding like our souls a little bit. Because we're like, we just do this for fun and therapy. And then when people say they actually listen, it makes us feel better. So thank you.
There's a lot of us moms that like you are in our earbuds on our morning walk. So it's awesome.
We love that. Well, so we need to start out before we dive into your whole business side of life. We need to ask how old the kids are, what's going on in your household right now, and what's bringing chaos.
So the kids are 6, just turned 5 this weekend. And
Happy
2.
birthday.
Yes. So they're really more like 6, 4, and 2 in terms of because my other one's birthday is in 2 weeks, but for accuracy's sake, those are their current ages right now. And they're all girls. So we have that layer of fun in the household at all times. It's everything girly all the time. But chaos wise, I just feel like this chaos of summer of like every kid seems to be doing something different at a different time. And now even moving towards school, like last time we went and we were doing some school shopping, and even just like I was sitting down with my husband today being like, we need to even start thinking about planning meals for the school year, and just like all of that. When you're diving back in, I feel like I don't know if I'm ready for all that right now.
It's like the routine that's setting back in, but then you need to have the prep to have the routine too. But
Yeah.
how's back to school shopping? Because Danielle and I talked about it last week and how cute like the Target stuff is for back to school for girls.
All girls.
It's so fun. I have to be honest. It was so fun, picking out their cute little folders and like you're saying, all the cutesy, like, the girls were just having a ball. My middle one is funny too. She loves that kind of stuff, but she also is much more like she'd rather be outside kicking a ball around than doing that kind of thing. So it's kind of like a juggle between like trying to get all the things, trying to look at the list, trying to make sure my middle one isn't. At one point, she was riding in the cart using my purse as a horse harness. And I'm like, girl, we just gotta get through this. Okay?
Second born. It doesn't matter. Second borns are different. They're just different. No offense, Katie.
It's so true. So yeah, we got through it though. I was like, I told my husband, I think we got everything. I'm gonna go through it when I have a calm moment and check everything off, but it was good.
I had a similar moment. We did some back to school shopping, and I think we were talking that I don't start till after Labor Day school for the kids. And so this is early to be school shopping for me, which is on par with my personality. But we were shopping and I took the brave option of no cart in Target with both boys.
Oh yeah.
And because I thought we were just going to like walk through the toys and that, and then it turned into school shopping. Like, it was to waste some time. And so at one point we, of course, like ran into somebody we knew, and then Jack's laying on the grounds, like Calvin's pulling off folders off there. I'm like, what did I do? And I knew. Yep. Why did I come in here with no cart?
Halfway through it, you're thinking, maybe I should have just done this online,
Right.
Yeah, unless you're like went back to school on Monday and we hadn't gotten a backpack or anything like that yet. So we went to Dick's Sporting Goods on the same day that everybody does. Because if you play sports, everyone in the area gets 20% off the coupon, but just at that one Dick's. We ran into everyone. But it was really cute to see like Colton actually cared this year about like what he was wearing and
Yeah.
like how like swaggy and drippy they call it they felt. So, but I understand the chaos, and I on the other side of it, I'm only 3 days in. I'm talking like I'm an expert. I already feel so much calmer with like the routine, even though there's no real routine. But so there is hope for you. Yes, the chaos will calm down.
Thank you. I'm hoping so, because yeah, it's like you're right, like getting there and getting through all of like these pre kind of things that you have to do, but then you settle into it and you're like, all right, we're back into the flow, and now we can just be sick every day. So then I'm excited for the next phase. I always like, get excited about the routine, and then I'm like, and then the illness hits,
Or
and then it
again,
doesn't stop, and I'm like, it's always something, right?
it's a vicious cycle we're in. But so we have to ask, because you have the bag behind you. So if you guys are only listening to us, it's worth flipping on to look at us while we're talking to you. But Katie, you have the Ivy Go bag. You need to tell us how it came to be.
Yes, yes. Okay. So I think we talked a little bit about this at the beginning, but basically, I was sitting in a pediatrician's appointment. It was after I had my third baby. So it was like the first appointment, after you're released from the hospital. So I had my two other little ones with me, and it was just chaos. They had stripped her down. She's just in a diaper. She's screaming because she's cold because they had just weighed her, and you're waiting for the doctor to come in, and I'm thinking, like, okay, I just have to give her some milk because we got to do something. She's freaking out. So I'm trying to breastfeed and I'm trying to hold her up. You're postpartum, you're sweaty, you're stinky. It's just like, it's hot in there. It was just like the perfect storm of like, I just am sitting in this moment and I'm thinking, in the moment, I felt like just like a failure. Like, why can't I do this? I'm failing. I can't do this. I feel out of control. But then after I was like, maybe there's a better way, like maybe there's something that I could do differently, or maybe there's a product that could support this. And in that moment, I reached down, I grabbed my diaper bag and I used it to kind of prop up the baby and try to get her to be able to feed. And it was like a light bulb went off and I was like, what if I could make a diaper bag that would be supportive? So that's basically what I did. This is our Ivy Go diaper bag. It is a structured bag for exactly that purpose. So when you put it on your lap, I'm trying to scoot back a little bit so I can actually show, but when you put it on your lap, it is supportive enough that you can use it as a surface on the go to either breastfeed, bottle feed. There is also a pocket in here where you can pull out a nursing cover if you like to have a cover when you
So
feed.
cool.
The strap is adjustable around the neck, so you can kind of figure out what works for you. It connects right in the bag. This comes off in case you're wanting, obviously to
Amazing.
wash it. When you're done, you can just shove it right back in the pocket, zip it up. And yeah, this back pocket also has a changing mat. So this is kind of what gives you that kind of squishy, soft, supportive surface. So it's not like too structured. And then the inside of the bag, I personally love because I hate digging for stuff in a bag. So it has these kind of compartments. This one
Yep.
And if you're not watching, watch, because the way these compartments are, we'll try and visually explain them. So I cannot tell you how many inserts I bought for like diaper bags or like additional bags to put inside of the diaper bag to try and organize all the things. And I'm looking at it, watching you do it, even as an exclusive pumping mom. Like, I'm a type C mom. So like having all the things, remembering them all together at one is sometimes a challenge. And I'm like habitually like burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
But having like the cover where I could put the pump in my diaper bag instead of having to have a pump bag, a diaper. You always had your diaper bag with you, no matter what, right? So like being able to put those things in and, but like you said, pump, breastfeed, bottle feed, like have it all there in one spot is just a true gift. So thank you for your struggle in that pediatrician office
Thank you.
because I wish I had that bag.
Thank you so much.
I know.
Yeah, we completely designed it to do exactly what you're saying. Help moms. We're already so busy doing all the things. It's so hard to remember those things that you need, especially when you're flying out the door with, even just flying out the door with one kid is overwhelming, let alone multiple. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's really kind of how it started.
And I feel like as time's gone on, because I remember watching, I think it was for Father's Day, right? And your husband did a little series about how he was using the bag.
Yeah.
And it had me laughing so hard because it was so true. But there's so many other uses besides that, like the kids just having somewhere to sit when you're
Yeah.
out, snacks and all the phases that you go through. A structured bag is like it.
It's
Yeah,
been
what are some of the most
really
unique
fun.
things that people have used it for that
Yeah.
they've talked about?
It's been really fun. I would say the most unique thing that one of the moms who bought the bag sent us a message and showed us was she actually wears it almost like a hip carrier. So she wears it crossbody, but then she actually will put, like if she's holding her baby, she'll use this for the baby's bottom and put the baby's legs this way, either close facing or outward facing. And she just uses it as like a little seat that way. So like my mind was blown. We do that all the time now with our 2.5-year-old because it's like she still likes to be carried. And then the other thing that was really unique is people using it this way as like a seat, even just for a toddler who's wanting to sit and tie their shoes. Or like my daughter, my husband took my daughter, I think what you were talking about in those videos, like they were at a baseball game and he put it right on the seat and she sat on it like a little booster seat. So
Smart.
it
Oh,
has
I
been
love
fun
that.
to see like different uses for it than we had even intended.
Yeah. And I think too, like one of the things you had that light bulb moment of that, but we of course need to know the nerdy details of like, how'd you start and what was your background prior to this to
Yeah.
create this product?
Absolutely. So, absolutely nothing related to product, development, merchandising, absolutely zero. I started off as a teacher. I taught for a few years and then I actually pivoted out of that before we had kids. I worked at a tech startup for a little while. I did kind of like a bunch of different jobs. I was a writer for a while. I wrote for like a magazine that was really focused on the earth and things like that. So it was kind of cool having a background in some of especially leading into our other products that we have that use like natural fibers. That was kind of a neat parallel. But I did all of those things and really didn't have any sort of background in doing any of this. I kind of did what I think most people do is they hit up Google and they're like, all right, I have an idea. What do I do? So we started off with a patent attorney. That was like our step one because we knew we had not, this product that didn't exist yet. So we were like, let's start there. So we started there and then our next step was like, okay, now we need a technical design. That's what they call it. A tech pack is basically like the industry term for that, which is essentially a blueprint that for anything, any product on the market, whether it's a piece of clothing we're wearing or a pen that we're holding on to, every single product has one of these technical designs behind it so that the factory knows exactly what to do. The products needed to, the materials, the stitching, everything. So I actually went on to like Upwork. I went on to Upwork, which is just kind of like a site where you can hire freelance workers. And so I interviewed a bunch of different technical designers and I found one that I really, really loved. So we started working together and kind of hammering out the design. That was like really our first and second steps, I would say.
From start
So
to finish, how long did it take you to get the design that you were happy with?
Gosh, probably a year. Probably a year. I mean, we were fully, like, before we had product in hand ready to launch, it was 2 full years of development. And yeah, so once we got the design in hand, we were comfortable with, then it was like, okay, now we have to find a factory. Like, we have our blueprint, but what do we do with it? So that was a whole nother thing. So we kind of went, same thing, hit up Google, and I'm like, all right, I have no
yeah.
idea.
Your
You
business
know,
code, Google, it's fine.
yeah, that's what we tried. did not go very well. There's a lot of factories, but if you really don't know much about it, like I didn't, there's different countries have different specialties. Different factories might be interested in working with you. Some may not because you're a startup and you're new. A lot of factories are pretty comfortable with their current workload. And just kind of like as a standard across the industry, the factories are always seeming to have more work than they do time. So it's like you're already trying to just squeeze in to their current, load of what they've got going, which is really a challenge. So we struggled for a while with that. We tried and we just weren't having a whole lot of success. So we then went back to our designer and she had a contact who was kind of in production. So then we met up with them and they kind of helped us then through that process of connecting with a factory, making sure that our technical specifications were being followed. Because that's another thing. I mean, a lot of these factories, you'll send them your technical design and they're like, cool, that's great. We like that, but we're going to kind of do whatever we want and try to sort of kind of do it. It's kind of it happens. So then finding a factory that's like taking your tech pack seriously and following it, that was challenging too. But finally, we made it through all of that and we're really, really happy with the product. We did a couple iterations of it too, honing in on different things, making some different changes. And so yeah, it was a long road. That's for sure.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you wrote for an earth conscious or like material conscious art magazine, or was it a magazine or a newspaper?
Yeah, it was like an online newspaper.
Okay. So I know that you took a lot of time and thought into what kind of materials you were going to source and paying attention to those details. Can
Yep.
you tell us a little bit about that on top of everything else?
Yes. So, I feel like with the bag, the materials that we had to choose or that we chose from are we didn't have as much flexibility with the diaper bag because we want it to be waterproof. We want it to be stain resistant. We want durability. I mean, that being said, we were really able to lean into like using Pima cotton, which is a very high quality cotton for our nursing covers and for our new apparel line that we have of children's wear. So that I feel like the material choices were more fun when it came to that type of thing because we had a lot more, like there's a gajillion fabrics on the market, and so we were able to choose a really organic, all of the, you name it, in terms of certificates, like it has it. We have pretty much every certification you can have for our cotton, which we just really wanted to offer, especially something that's going to be close to a baby. We were really excited to be able to do that. And one thing that's really interesting that not many people know is we see a lot of like the bamboo fabrics. I'm sure you guys have seen bamboo this, bamboo that, right? Well, bamboo is actually made via a chemical process. They basically use a chemical solvent that kind of takes the materials and mushes them up and basically makes this fabric through this kind of icky process. It's very damaging to ecosystems. It actually causes like reproductive harm on the workers that are processing this. It's like it's got a lot of, we've been very greenwashed to see bamboo and think, oh, I mean, that's what I thought. Oh, bamboo, it sounds
Until this very
good.
second, that's what I thought. So
Literally,
Yeah,
yeah.
it sounds really great. Like healthy, it's good, like yay. But really it's not. And cotton is one of the few fibers that truly are natural and non-damaging to people, the ecosystem. I mean, there's conversations you could have, I'm sure, about virtually any type of fabric on the market, but it's a lot less damaging than a lot of the mainstream products that we have on the market right now.
Yeah. And so you were seeing this, because I've never had experience this, how did you go about like pricing the bag then? Because obviously like higher end,
Yeah.
quality to the bag and that, like, what was your thought process behind that?
Yeah, so our production like teams, they have people within the team that really focus on looking at all of those metrics. So like they'll take pricing from all different other brands and kind of do like a big comparison to make sure that you're fitting in within, your bracket of where you're going to line up. So they do like a lot of research, but also it's really challenging as a new brand because your costs are going to be much higher than like bigger brands that are having a lot of order volume. You're starting off small. So that was really a challenge. So we basically did our absolute best in terms of pricing. We want to offer the best price that we can, but it's also so hard because you still need to be able to pay your factory, and like your margins are really really tight when you're starting off, and that's a challenge because you want to be able to keep moving forward and be able to then place future orders, and that was a really hard part too.
Yeah, and I can imagine too because you want to like you're a mom yourself, like you're like I want something that is within range but it hits the quality and is going to last, and I'm sure there were so many things that went
And
into
I
it.
think too, you were kind of a disruptor in the industry a little bit because everybody that tried breastfeeding or that pumped or whatever. You had 5,000 breast friends all over your house. The
Yeah.
breast friend was my second adventure because I had bumbo pillows all over my house that became dog beds. Then you had a million different covers that you tried. And, then on top of that, the diaper bag. So when you priced it out, I'm sure at first people are like they might have said like you were worried that they were going to say that's an expensive diaper bag. But the reality is it's not just a diaper bag. It's a lot
Yes.
of other things.
Well, and it does include our changing mat, the nursing cover. It includes stroller clips, so you can kind of almost turn it into a stroller bag as well. We have a lot of moms that love doing that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a product we feel that grows with a family too, which, we've got moms that are maybe not using the changing mat anymore, or not necessarily carrying around a diaper bag, and they carry this thing to work and they put their laptop in the back, which is really fun to see. Like that was another surprise for me because I just didn't know. I was hopeful that that would be the case, that people would continue to use it and just love it as like a maybe a bag or a work bag, but you never know. And so seeing that has been really fun, that people are like enjoying using it beyond just the baby
Lifelong.
phase.
And let me tell you, there's been times where I wish I had a changing pad, like for my 3-year-old, just being out. Like we're potty trained, but like the things that they just decide to do, and you're like, could you not sit on the floor or in the bathroom stall? Like, could
No.
Well,
you?
that's what I mean. I'm thinking about soccer, Katie. Like the amount of times I'm
Oh my
taking game
gosh!
for Colton, like for something, I forget the seat, or I have to bring 5,000 snacks because we can't sit through 15 minutes of anything with the movie theater. Like, it's just, I still bring my diaper bag, which I do not need. Daisy's potty. I do not need a diaper bag, but I will still bring my diaper bag around, and it doesn't have all those things because I'm desperate for places to put stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, my youngest is 2.5, and we still carry this thing just about everywhere because even though she's not a baby, it's still like you're saying. And one thing we love too, you mentioned with the snacks. I mean, how many times have you had snacks that then you take it out of the diaper bag and it's like maybe a granola bar and it's all just crumbs? So like we love that because I mean, you could throw this thing down a hill and you're going to have, if you have a bag of potato chips in there, they are going to be a bag of potato chips when they get to the bottom of the hill.
It's such a good point though. Like we've had an applesauce incident where we've had it and like the kids have smushed on the thing and applesauce goes all over. So definitely.
Us too, many times. I
So
know.
as you're building out this product, and I'm switching gears a little bit, but I want to ask, you were doing this all while you were postpartum, like freshly postpartum. Can you tell us what that felt like?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it would be a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely not ideal. It was never something in a million years I would have ever thought would be something I'd be doing, a couple months postpartum with our third baby. And also, after I had my third, I developed severe preeclampsia. So I was hospitalized for 8 days. It really was, I think now in retrospect, this company truly has saved me. And it really got me through some of my darkest times because my anxiety was out of control. I mean, that medical event was extremely unexpected. And then, trying to navigate that with 3 children and then the lasting effects of, I was still on medication for a while. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like what if my blood pressure spikes again? Or like, I mean, it was so, I feel like this grounded me and it gave me something to focus on that wasn't my health or the kids all the time. It kind of broke me out of a lot of those like depressive thoughts that I was having during that time. And it wasn't ideal, but at the same time, I feel like it now in retrospect, it kind of saved me to have something else to lean into.
Yeah, and it can be, I'm sure, like outside of the medical side of it for you, like 3 kids. Tell us about what kind of village you have to
Yeah.
be doing all these things.
I mean, my parents are wonderful. My mom and my dad, they live close. We're so thankful and lucky to have them. They literally will help us with anything we need. They're so supportive. And so I feel like, and I have a brother and a sister as well, and they're wonderful as well. They're younger than me. They don't have their own children yet or spouses. So my kids are always very spoiled by having cool aunts and uncles that want to do things with them. So we do have I would say we have a small village, but we have a really powerful one. Even though the body count might be small, you know, you name it, we have support. And we have wonderful, like we have a couple sitters that are really great. So we've kind of gotten some people in our corner that if we need support and we need help, we have a couple people. So it's been great.
And so I feel like the whole purpose of us wanting you on the podcast, not only for the amazing product that you built to help other moms and that, but also from the entrepreneurial side. Like
Yes.
you had the drive to do this during postpartum and that, what would be advice you might give somebody that has an idea and, hasn't taken that leap to run
Yeah.
with it?
I would say, Google is your friend. ChatGPT is your friend. If you're feeling overwhelmed to start, that's normal. You're never, I feel overwhelmed even now with some of the decisions we have to make and different things. But honestly, the best advice I could give somebody is just take the first step because things build on each other. You might take the first step with one person or you make one decision and that person knows somebody else. Or then you get to the next level. I feel like our journey has very much built on itself. Like one person leads us to another person, then that gives us another idea. And that it's really just about going for it, even though it's terrifying because you don't know how it's going to go. But if you feel passionate about something, chances are other people or other moms are going to feel the same way, you know?
That's so true.
And
Worth
I
it.
hate I hate to put you on the spot because I also know investment is a huge part of this, not only your time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing, like from an investment side, how did you were postpartum. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always a hard time. How did
Yeah.
that go for you guys as a family?
I'm going to be honest, it's really a challenge because, we didn't find a whole lot of luck in terms of like securing financing or anything like that. I think a lot of people maybe have or can, or some people I've heard of using like Kickstarter and that type of thing. But I mean, we just straight up took out some loans, maxed out some credit cards. It's not glamorous and it's not cute. We sold a car. Yeah, it's really something that we've truly just believed in to the point where we're willing to do this because we want to bring this to the market.
That shows your dedication to like, and your true belief in like the product that you wanted to create. And I've heard other people say things like that. Like, if you're going to go max out your credit card, if you're going to go take out loans, like you are going to bust your butt to make sure that this is going to work. Do you feel like that did encourage you to work that much harder and go that much farther than if
Yeah.
you would have gotten investment?
I think so. I mean, I feel like, when you truly are putting your life on the line where you're going, if we can't pay this, like we have to pay this. We can't not, there's not an option. And it really does really it's very motivating to go, okay, maybe it's not, I think it is kind of insane when you actually think about it. People, that do start businesses, I think there is like honestly like a level of somewhat insanity because it's
Yes.
kind of like
Literally
you
though,
really
yes.
are making these decisions where you're like, it's not based on any promise that this is going to work out. You are just running full speed at, you know, off a cliff, truly. And you're praying to God that your parachute opens up while you're descending because that's really what the decisions kind of feel like, you know?
But when you have a
We
family to support and like people that are relying on you, it changes your mindset a little bit of what you are capable of. And I think it's just motivating for Katie and I and hopefully our listeners too to say like, I think we all wait for that perfect moment. The
Yes.
finances need to be in order. The family needs to be in order. Everything needs to be perfect before I take you, like you said, that one step. And the reality is that's usually not the case. And if you bet on yourself and you really believe in it, that you can make the things happen that you want to happen. And I think that's motivating to any mom who's like
Yeah.
thinking about doing something different.
Well, and I think you can apply it even just to anything that you're doing in motherhood. It's helped me even in my own just nothing business related, even motherhood related, where I'm like, even little things like, I've got 10 loads of laundry and I'm like, just do one. Just do one. Or even like after I had my third baby, I think I had gained almost 85 pounds. It happens to a lot of us, especially as you had more kids. It was just like I was in a place where I'm going, I just want to feel more like me. And it was like, okay, just start walking, just do one thing, and it's just like, I think the business side has also impacted me as a mom just by how I think about things and just doing like little things that then just build on each other. And it's been helpful.
well, we appreciate you being so vulnerable and quite honestly just real about the whole process because I think it's something people miss. They hear the glamorous story and like, all the success in that. And it's like, well, we need advice on how to get started and support on how that works. And yeah, especially being moms, there's so much going on that you forget that there is more time to do things. And if you believe in something, you have to go for it.
Yeah, it's true. And I think the other piece of advice that I never heard, well, maybe I heard from some people, but I never really understood it, is you really do also have to know that your current like circle of people in your life will also change if you start something and you do something different. It's doing something different is not, it's going to be received differently by different people. So some people might be like, yay, this is great, and other people might be like, well, that's kind of weird. And so that's kind of a weird shift too, is you bring a bunch of new people in your life and your circle just kind of changes too, which isn't a bad thing. It's just something that I wasn't ever really thinking about.
Yes, that piece of it evolves too. So as we look forward, what can we expect from August and Ivy through the rest of this year?
Well, we are super excited. We're already working on our next version of the bag, so we have some fun things that we are going to be changing. One of the things that we're doing is we are going to have insulated pockets on the side. So whether you're putting in a hot bottle, cold bottle, whatever, that is one change. Yeah, we are playing around with a couple of different fun things. So that's on the horizon. And we did recently launch our small line of children's wear. So we've got some really cute like zippy rompers, we've got some hats, we've got some bibs. So possibly expanding more into some other items in that. But yeah, I'm excited to see even just where the brand goes, because I don't even know. I think I know, but we also love getting feedback from people, and even people that already have our items. We love like hearing, what people are wanting, and we like to really take stuff like that into consideration too.
And I think it's great to be able to support, someone that as a mom is also like a mom and doing all the right things, like you said, with your like sourcing materials and building it out for the busy mom, because you don't just do August and Ivy. I don't think people probably know that, but you also have like a 9 to 5
I
job
do.
on top of August and Ivy.
Yep.
And so does your husband.
Yep.
So
We
that's a
do.
lot.
It's really a lot. It is. And a lot of times, many times we get our kids down, and then from like 10 p.m. till sometimes 1 a.m. we're packaging orders, we're doing emails, it is definitely, like we talked about, it's not glamorous, that's for sure, especially when you're starting up. It's a lot of elbow grease, it's a lot of effort.
Glamour can be overrated. Okay. It's about realness and having fun, like with what you're doing. And
Yes.
I'm going to say this is a total one off, but you listen to us. So you know, it's usually what I do. Watch The Hawk. I finished The Hawk. Have either of you watched that show?
No.
Okay. So Katie, your husband's was a pro golf. Like, wasn't he a pro golfer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's a golf show,
Oh
and
my
it's
gosh,
Will
well, we're gonna
Ferrell.
have to watch it.
You have to
Ryan's
watch.
so pretty.
But I don't want to ruin it for you. But there's a moment where like the glamour is like what he thinks he wants, and then he's like, I just want like the realness of this other, and it's just like that's all I can think of right now. But then I'm like, wait, her husband was a pro golfer. You have to watch the show while
We
you're doing
will.
work.
I
It's
love that
hilarious.
idea. And we're always looking for something. Right now, he's funny. He cracks me up. My husband is more into like the chick flicks than I am. Like, throw on like any girly show and he's into it. Like,
Yes.
like the other night, he's like, I just want to watch Sweet Magnolias with you. I'm like, okay, we can do that. That's a good show too lately we've been watching. But yes, I completely agree. And I always try to tell myself too when I'm feeling tired or I'm feeling like, you're not going to be motivated 100% of the time. But I also feel like you just learn, it becomes just part of you. You don't have to feel motivated to act motivated. You just are like, you just do it. But one thing that I heard, and it was like, if what you're doing, or if you're tired because you love what you're doing, it's a good tired. So I try to tell myself that even when I'm tired or fried, I'm like, it's a good tired. It's a good fried. I couldn't ask for a better reason to feel tired.
So amazing. Well, I feel like we can keep talking forever, but I do want to give everyone where they can find the bag. Of course, we will, if you guys are listening to us, we have it linked in the notes here or wherever you're listening. But you can find August and Ivy on Instagram as well. We'll have them tagged there, but we do have a special promo code for you guys on the Ivy Go bag. We have $20 off if you use code 92mom20. So it's 9TO mom20. So we'll make sure we have that link too. But Katie, thank you again for coming on here. This was so fun.
This is so fun. Thank you guys.
It's great talking to
It
you.
was just a blast. I love chatting with you girls.
All
We're
right,
excited
we'll
to do
see
this
you all
next.
next time.
Bye.